Hi, this is Blue Angel, and I'm you and Blue Angel Tutor on YouTube, and we're going to be continuing to edit the same picture, but this time we're going to dodge it, which means just adding highlights to certain areas of the face, mostly areas that are highlighted already. And, we're going to start off on the face like usual because that's the main, reason for this tutorial, to show you how to edit the face more than anything else. So, oh, and if you didn't know by now, I am using a tablet. I have a bamboo tablet. It costs like $80 at Staples if you want to get one. I don't think it costs that much. But, if I can afford it, I don't think it costs that much. But, so anyway, your range should be set to midtones and exposure to, anything that you can control. I'm gonna go back to like 12 since I told you guys I stay between 10 and 12. It depends on if I am getting impatient with how slow the lightening up is taking. But just make sure you're on midtones always to start off anything you're dodging. So we're just going to take it and go over the highlights in the face. Not that deep, but you don't wanna highlight the whole thing, because then there'd just be no point of highlighting it in the first place. So you don't highlight spots like right here and right here, because that'd be too much. Like, I'm just highlighting the cheeks right up here, and then skipping a spot, and then going to the chin. And we can add a little bit right outside this space where we did the little thing under the nose. I still don't know what it's called. Somebody should totally tell me that. But we're gonna go to the nose, highlight the bridge of the nose, and then the end. You can go all the way through if you want to. It depends on how you want your nose to look, but I'm just gonna go at the end and at the bridge. And we're gonna go right under the eyebrow. Keep that space right here. That's why you made it darker, so you don't go over it. Make sure it's just right at the top, right below the eyebrows. You can go right here, the edge of the eyebrows. And then we can make our brush bigger if needed to just put a little something on the forehead. Have her face really brightened up. And on the nostrils. Sorry if I'm not saying what brush size I'm using, because it usually depends on you. And you should be watching this in HD and be able to see everything that I'm doing anyway. Like all the stuff I'm using anyway. We can go right here where the makeup is. Where else? Okay, so I can go down to the body this time, since dodging doesn't take that long, and go right where the highlighted spaces are. Okay, further down to the bosom, and just highlight this whole section. This section up here too. I don't know if you hear that beeping or not, but if you do, I'm sorry. I am logged on right now, actually. I get on more often nowadays since I have time. Alright. So basically I just covered all the spots that weren't dark. that I didn't darken, basically. Like I said before, the more contrast, the better. Okay, now we're going to learn about the shadow. Now, like you're thinking, why would you use shadows with the dodge tool? Now, shadow on the dodge tool is for the rim lighting thing I talked about in the last part. So what we're going to do is take the same tool, the dodge tool, but we're going to change the range to shadows. The exposure does not change unless you are impatient with the outcome, because it does sometimes take a long time if you're going in a dark space to get that rim lighting to show up. So what we're going to do is go right above where you darkened it in under the chin and everything. Right above that. Depending on whether you like it that way or not, you could go on the edge or you can go right above the shadows. It doesn't matter, but if you were going to go on the edge, you wouldn't even need to have to darken the edges of the face. So yeah, so we're going to add the rim lighting to the face as such, and then we're going to do it to the nose right here. You could do it under the mouth, as I said before. Under the lip, under the bottom part of the top lip. It's a good place to put it. Above the top lip. And now we can go get a smaller one and go right on the edge of the nostrils on the nose. Like right on the edges. Yeah, see how it takes longer when the exposure is a bit low in certain places. You can go on the outside of the nostril too if you would like. It's up to you. I usually do. Okay. Alright, let me see where else. I don't think I usually... Well, I can do it on the forehead since I'm working on the forehead this time. Alright. Always, rim lighting is always for the edges of anything. It always goes on the edge. Okay, now we don't want them to show this much, so what I'm going to do is smudge it a little bit. Try to make it a little bit skinnier too. Skinnier works better. Sometimes, in some cases, sometimes the thicker lines work better. It depends on the face, and it's up to you whether or not you want your rim lighting to be thick or thin. Okay, I never smudge anything on the nose or anything, because I don't want to smudge any details out accidentally. And sorry, you might see me going back to different things to fix up some things, but this comes back to the more contrast the better. So I'm just darkening up the space that I felt like needed to be darkened a bit. This part too. Like with this thing, the outside should be darker than this little spot in the inside. I'm going back to the boobs. Some places need to be really dark because some places have like almost absolutely no light in them anyway. So if you want to make a place really dark, it does help with the contrasting, and it will make sense if you do. And now we're going to do the highlights. which is even lighter. We have to go back to the dodge tool and change the range to highlights, and we're going to go over those light spaces, but we're not going to go over every single inch that we went over with midtones. So all we want to do is go over a space. I don't like to make it extremely light. That's why it's again set to 12. 12 is the magic number in this case. In all cases, if you're editing, just remember that number and you will succeed. Okay. So basically I'm just going over every spot I did with the midtones to give the picture a wee bit more life. Get it back up a little bit so I can see how everything looks like. Sorry if I'm being like really quiet. I think editing takes a lot of concentration sometimes. But I guess I can show you guys. I'm gonna add some more rim lighting on the edge of her body, but I'm gonna crank up the exposure so it'll go back quickly. I don't have to keep doing it like spend 5 minutes in one place. And if you're not good at doing this, I don't know what to say. You could, if anybody does want to know a different way, an easier way in doing this, instead of doing it freehand like I'm doing, then just comment. I will be happy to tell you or show everybody an easier way to do this if you're not really good with being in control of the, your pen or mouse or whatever. I don't know what you're using, but I'm using my tablet, so with the pen, or if you're not good with the mouse or whatever, I can show you guys a better way to do it. Okay. So I think that's it for this tutorial. Oh wait, I forgot paste. Oops, I'm all over the place. So I think that's the end of the skin. I'm gonna put some highlights in the lips, which I forgot. But this is basically the end of the skin portion of this tutorial. So I will see you on the hair. I will finish this up and I will come back with the hair tutorial.